Welcome to Michinori, Journey of Life. This is Nadia Sakurai, the creator of this podcast series. Every week, I'll take you along on a voyage filled with ups and downs as we listen to various people share their experiences of their careers and life endeavor. The voices you will hear are of those who have successfully found their calling, be it in the field of art or entrepreneurship. Did they always know what they wanted to do? What were the challenges they faced? How did they reach where they are now? Buckle up as we venture these questions and more. This week, we'll be journeying into the life of Marina.
Hi, I'm Marina Matheson. I'm the owner and designer at Copper Home Design. I'm 27 years old, and I just started my business in March. I recently graduated from a diploma of interior design. And my business is basically like an interior design studio, interior design firm on a much smaller scale. But we basically do anything from like full-blown renovations to if you just need a little help sprucing up your space, choosing colors for your room or your home, or needing a little guidance in like decorating or like decor and stuff like that. Honestly, my main goal is just to make you happy with your space and for it to feel better for you and to reflect your style and your needs. It's going to sound silly, but I have like an obsession with copper and rose gold and pink, and Copper Home just kind of came to me. Also, copper is kind of like a grounding metal, so I think that also is kind of interesting how I didn't think about it, but after the fact it kind of ties into it as well because I like a grounding space. But yeah, Copper Home Design. I thought it had a nice ring to it. My logo for my company is making your space feel like home. So to me, my room growing up was kind of like my sanctuary. I'm a big homebody in the sense I like staying at home and I like having my me time in my space. So growing up, my room reflected that. And I truly believe that having a space that makes you feel comfortable reflects what you want it to reflect in your style. And I'm a firm believer that a space can make you feel more productive, better about yourself, just have a better outlook on life and make you feel more positive. I feel like a space, if it meets your needs and is a reflection of you, it just helps you become your best self and be productive and creative and let you thrive in whatever way you would like to thrive in. So a client would reach out to me either by email or phone or on Instagram direct message and give me a brief idea of what their project is. And then we would set up a meeting, preferably in their space, to do a consult. And that would determine what would be the next step after that. Let's give an example as like they want their living room redone. Client would reach out, we would set a date to meet. Consults are usually an hour to 2 hours. So I would go in and I would walk around the space, let them show me their space, ask them questions like how do you use your space, how many people are in the space typically, what's your vision for the space, what do you like about it, what don't you like about it, is there anything that frustrates you, is there anything that you really love and want to keep in the space, what are your future plans for i.e. family, like are you planning to expand your family, or do you have animals that you need to be catering to, do you have elderly individuals who come to the space, like what are your needs for the space, and then from there we would talk about some more things and then we would set up a plan, basically a plan of attack for the space. They're called phases, so you do phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So phase 1, I would put a rough spatial planning together based off of what they want, based off of their needs and catering to their requirements. And I would put up the mood board to try and get a visual idea of what they would like and what is suitable for the space, in my opinion. And then if they agree on all of those things, then we would move forward and make things more permanent in regards to, okay, well, here are options for your furniture, here are options for color and blah, 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 that kind of stuff. And then more decor pieces. In phase 2, that's when we would actually start applying that and attacking those elements in the space. Phase 3 is kind of just finishing up and putting like pretty little bows on things and adding the final details and touches. I personally like the end phase because I just love to see how a space can change so drastically and how something so little can also affect the feeling of the client and how people are so happy with it in the end. Like that makes me happy. Love the before and afters, so those are always my favorite. Actually, it's kind of funny because you know how like some people have like a really hard time once you hit like high school figuring out where you want to go in life. I didn't have that. I always knew that I wanted to do interior design. Even as like a little kid, I was always very interested in that and was always fascinated by going to like the home stores or renovation places and whatnot, and just like had fun with that. Growing up, my mom and I kind of fixed up this condo that we were living in. It wasn't like a full-blown renovation, but her and I painted the entire condo and I'd help her pick out like pieces and whatnot. She was very like nurturing of my creativity in the sense. And I remember one time I was really obsessed with tie-dye. I was kind of like a hippie in a sense, and I was really obsessed with tie-dye. So we had those old like classic closet doors that are like the old wood and they're just like vinyl finishing. So we had this idea to wallpaper them to make it a little more creative. And she let me go to the home improvement store and pick out whatever I wanted. So I ended up with these tie-dye floral border, and we ended up with this 3D fern print that we painted like this lime green color, and it was a lot of fun. Looking back on it, it was horrible, but she let me do it and have fun with it. And yeah, she taught me how to wallpaper and let me like do my room and stuff like that. So I was very happy with that, and it kind of incubated that from there. I was young when we did it. Oh my goodness, I was probably like 7, but I was very excited about it and I enjoyed it for quite a few years. And then growing up, I would flip furniture. Like I remember when my siblings was born, we had this old dresser and my mom wanted to make it nicer for the nursery. The theme was Winnie the Pooh, so we went with really nice pastel colors, very muted. And we painted it all fun and colorful, and we got these wooden cutouts of the silhouettes of the characters, and we painted those, and it all matched. Kind of just did stuff like that, and I was obsessed with spray painting as well. So, not spray painting the walls and stuff like that, but more like, I went through this phase where I was really into silver, so I spray painted all my jewelry setups, so they were all matching in silver, so they weren't like mismatched, because I like matching. That's my thing. In high school and in college, I worked at the paint department at Rona, so I feel like that was a really good kind of stepping stone while I was in college for interior design to kind of get a better understanding of like dealing with clients in a sense, because you would have people come in with like this kind of idea and then you'd help guide them in the right direction. And I feel like that was a good learning lesson for me, and just helping and understanding that there are different styles out there, and like not everything you're gonna like, but if it makes them happy, then that's awesome. I grew up in a very not the greatest environment, so that's why I'm saying like my room was always my safe space and my space. And I think that kind of also just transfers to making it yours and making your space feel like home. I think that just because it's a rental doesn't mean you shouldn't make it your home. I mean, obviously within reason and with agreements from your landlord and permission from your landlord and stuff like that. But why shouldn't you not make it your home if you have the opportunity to? Or even if you can't or don't want to do anything too like extreme or too drastic, even just like putting a picture on the wall or putting plants to decorate your space or the layout and making it feel cozy and homey. You can make your space feel different or give it a different feel with what you have. You don't have to have a huge budget to do well, obviously like a big budget would make a major change, but with using the things you have, you can create a new atmosphere environment, and it's all about placement and Maybe you have like an old family heirloom that just kind of sits and collects dust, but it has like something that you can put it on display with, like on a bookshelf or hang it on the wall, and it kind of like just makes the space more personal to you in a sense. So if you've just had enough of something, just kind of do it one day, and it doesn't have to be tackled all at once. It can be little bit by little bit. Like maybe, like I said, with the picture, you have like hidden in your back closet, or hang it up, make it present. Or if there's something that you don't like if you don't like the pillows or the curtains you have, and you are able to get new ones, then do that. Or if there's a painting you don't like on the wall, take it down, Like, I think it's just very small, and it doesn't always have to be a big change or a lot of effort in that regard. I would love to help somebody make their first little space their own. I have my own studio apartment, and I think decorating that was one of my favorite things ever, because growing up, I didn't have a pink room. I wasn't in that phase at that time. And now I got to kind of live like my little childhood, like girly dream, and everything's like pink, and it just makes me happy. And I got to do whatever I wanted to it, basically. I didn't have to worry about anybody about if they liked it or not. And it was more just all about me, which is kind of selfish, but I love. In this moment, I felt like it was very growth on my part and healing as well. So that was nice. Lots of pink. It's more subtle, pale, like neutral pink. I didn't paint any of the walls because it's a rental, but I have like a pink rug. I have a pink duvet cover. I have a floating shelf above my TV with a bunch of plants on it. I like it. It makes me happy. If I had all the freedom, oh my goodness. I've always wanted to flip a house, or not like, because flippers get a bad rep, but I would love to either have my own space or a rental property or what that I could completely renovate and just have fun creatively with it. I think that would be really fun too. But honestly, any project I'd be happy and excited to take on. Little Marina, I think she'd be very happy because this is something that I've always wanted to do. So I think just knowing that I actually took the leap and am starting it and I'm doing it is huge, and she would be very proud. Little Marina, I think you would be very proud of how far we've come. I think that you just need to remind yourself to keep going and to know that everything's going to work out the way it's supposed to. And you got this. Keep going. Keep going. You're going to get there. It's going to be tough, but you're going to do it. So just keep going. Follow your heart. Keep doing what you want to do, and everything will work out the way it's supposed to. Enjoy your space. Like, that's your little part of the world, and make it yours. It doesn't have to be trendy or follow the trends. If you like that, then that's awesome too, but I think do what makes you happy, and it's a reflection of you, right? Like, you're living in an environment where you're incubating yourself to thrive and become your best self and be inspired and motivated. So yeah, make your space feel like home.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Michinori Journey of Life. Isn't it interesting how Marina's childhood played a big part in her journey of pursuing interior design? Why wouldn't you not make it your home? That's something Marina mentions, and it is so true. Creating a space you can call home, feel comfortable, and be safe in is something everyone should have the benefit to have. And Marina is working to help you achieve just that. Currently, Marina is growing her interior design business, Copper Home Design. Follow her along as she nurtures her business and assists others make their home more special. To keep up with her journey or to reach out to her, make sure to follow Marina on Copper Home Design's social media accounts and website, which are listed on the Michinori webpage. Visit www.nadiasakurai.com/Michinori for more podcast details. www.nadiahi-fancom/MICHINORI. P.S. You can find the website URL in the description. If you like this episode, make sure to share the podcast or tell your friend about it. See you on the next voyage!